Lyle and Erik Menendez's family are standing by them and calling for their release. It has been 35 years since the murder of their parents, Jose and Kitty Menendez, 34 since they have been in prison, and 28 since they were sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Now, amid renewed, far more sympathetic attention on their case, especially after the recent Netflix series and documentary, in the lead-up to a possible resentencing, the brothers' lawyer Mark Garagos, along with members of their family, are speaking out during an unprecedented press conference in Los Angeles on Wednesday, October 16th. Around 20 members of the Menendez family, including Jose's niece, Ana Maria Baralt, gathered to call for a resentencing and release of Lyle and Erik. After their attorney Mark detailed their current habeas corpus claim, a court order asking to determine whether their imprisonment was lawful, which relies on two new pieces of evidence, Ana Maria gave her own statement and spoke on behalf of her mother, Jose's sister, who is also in support of the brothers being released. Read part of her speech below. Like so many others, I struggled to process the events of that fateful August day and the loss that I felt. Over time, it became clear that there were two other victims on that day, my cousins Lyle and Erik. Lyle and Erik, who continue to be victimized. They would be victims of a system who wouldn't hear them, and they would be victims of a culture who is not ready to listen. They would be mocked. They would be called cold-blooded killers, left to rot in jail, and denied any hope of redemption. If Lyle and Erik's case were heard today, with the understanding we now have about abuse and PTSD, there is no doubt in my mind that their sentencing would have been very different. And yet, despite their circumstances, they have chosen a life of light. Without hope of release, they persevered. They have sought to better themselves and serve as a support and inspirations for survivors all over the world. Their continued incarceration serves no rehabilitative purpose. It's time to recognize the injustice they suffered and allow them the second chance they deserve. Now here we are, both sides of the family united, sharing a new bond of hope. Hope that with the re-examination of their case, a new outcome will be reached. Hope that this 34-year nightmare will end and that we will be reunited as a family. Ana Maria also brought a statement on behalf of her mother, Terry Baralt, Jose's sister, who couldn't be in attendance because of health challenges. Her statement read, "I wish to make it clear that I stand firmly with this family. I am Lyle's godmother, and I love them both very, very much. My nephews have spent 3 decades in prison helping others. I have seen great growth in them. Even the law enforcement supervisors have written letters to the court for their resentencing and release. Millions across this country agree. I implore the district attorney's office to end our prolonged suffering and release Lyle and Erik back to our family. 35 years is such a long time. My prayers that I live long enough to see my nephews again and to hug them once more."